Ogunor. I'm the founder of Echiuma, a provider of off-grid solar systems to businesses in Nigeria. There's a problem with getting regular electricity in Nigeria. After speaking to several businesses there, we found that manufacturers share the same issues around this issue of energy. I was recently speaking to someone named Arun. He's the CEO of a steel-making company, and he was telling me about some of the problems he faces while trying to operate his business in Nigeria. He has high levels of product waste. When he melts steel, it becomes resolidified, and he has to melt it again, or it's not usable, and he has to toss it out. He's unable to properly plan what he can produce, making it difficult to sell to his customers. He's not able to operate at full capacity. It's expensive to operate his facility, and that high expense limits the amount of workers that he can hire. For the workers that he does have, they face regular hazard issues, and his equipment is more prone to damage. All of Arun's issues have one underlying problem. He is one of millions in Nigeria that faces a lack of reliable energy. Only 40% of people in Nigeria are connected to grid electricity. And for that 40%, the grid is highly unstable, and there are regular power outages and blackouts that last for days and weeks at a time. The World Bank cites the lack of reliable electricity as one of the biggest challenges to doing businesses in Nigeria. We found that this is particularly challenging for businesses that depend on electricity to operate, such as manufacturers. Currently, manufacturers depend on grid electricity, generators, and fuel to operate their facilities. Many manufacturers that we spoke to are not able to use the grid as its volatility can cause more damage to their equipment. So they depend on generators which have high maintenance costs and daily to weekly purchases of fuel. In an 8-month time period, the cost of fuel doubled. We have a better solution where we will own the end-to-end process. Echiuma will design, source, and install quality off-grid solar systems and sell them to commercial and industrial customers in Nigeria. We will design because we will customize each system to every customer and to their need. We will source because it can be challenging to find quality products, and we want to cut out the use of multiple distributors. And we will install to ensure it's done properly and provide superior customer service. With this end-to-end solution, we will build a brand of quality and trust. Our initial target customer are manufacturers that have heavy equipment that uses high levels of energy. They only need 2 to 3 hours of battery storage as they operate predominantly in the daylight. And their product waste costs are very expensive to them, such as food processors, chemical, and steel manufacturing. An example facility would look like another manufacturer I spoke to. His name is Alofe, and he's the head of R&D and managing director for a chemical plant. His facility is 240,000 square feet with a 100 kilowatt load, and 100 kilowatts equals about the average use of 10 US homes. He was another person that was an example of just how frustrating the situation was, and he's desperate for a solution. Now, we know that there are more Aruns and Alofes out there, but we don't know exactly how many, as that data is not currently tracked. What we do know is what the current spend looks like for this market. There's an estimated 60 million generators in Nigeria, and the spend for those, that's both for business use and private use. And the spend around that for fuel, maintenance, and the new purchases of new generators is $17.5 billion. For all manufacturers in Nigeria, the spend is $4 billion, and we estimate our target market of the manufacturers with heavy equipment to be $1 billion. Now, these numbers are in terms of the current market, and we estimate that to translate into a market size of 50,000 installations. I would also like to note that there is a push for an increase in domestic manufacturing, which could increase our potential target market. To operate a generator for manufacturers over a 10-year time period, the cost is over $1 million. The Echiuma solution will be $250,000, and we're able to make it work and be profitable because we get our payment in the first 3 years. I have been working in the solar industry since 2012. I have a background in supply chain management and sales, and in addition to my professional background, I have dual citizenship for Nigeria and in the US. With my background, doing business can be useful for me because in Nigeria, doing business in Nigeria can be challenging and risky for anyone who doesn't understand the business environment there and the culture. I do, and I will be moving to Nigeria after I graduate. I'm well positioned to form a brand that's built on trust and quality. I've talked about me. I'd like to introduce you to the rest of my team. We have Brianna Ford, who has a background in finance and investment banking. Gina Banks has a background in operations and in sales. Matthew Sachs has been advising us externally. He has experience with developing and investing in energy projects. And Ken Rother has been advising us internally here at Cornell and has been a part of several successful startups. So our ask of you today is for connections. So if any of you out there know someone who knows someone that can connect us to battery suppliers, and we're also looking to build our team in Nigeria, please shoot us an email at echiumanigeria@gmail.com. Thank you.